Mayor Pro Tem Curtis,
Here.
Alderman Green,
Here.
Alderman Welch,
Here.
Alderman Madray, Alderwoman Jones.
Here.
Mayor, you do have a quorum.
Thank you. Pledge of allegiance, please. Woody?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I will Texas flag, pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, everyone.
Excuse me, Clay, I apologize for being late.
$5 fine.
I was trying to get something done. Okay, guys.
I made that.
Citizens to request before council. Looks like we have one sign up. Ms. Berry.
Andrea, you ready?
I'm ready. This is
Go ahead.
Andrea Spearing. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I'm addressing the agenda item on hazard mitigation, because I was reading through the plan that was posted on the website, and it was talking about proactive mitigation of known hazards. And what came to my mind, and I hope I'm going in the right direction as the plan was, is the ability to react quickly to known hazards in our community. And that this is something that we want to plan for, and that we want to have plans in place for known hazards and also plans in place for unknown hazards. And one of the things that came to mind was our dispatch system, that after hours and on weekends, it goes to Galveston, and then they call, and it comes back to Jamaica Beach. And I was just wondering, thinking kind of outside the box, whether the possibility of using hot taxes to pay for an on-site dispatch. Hurricane season's upon us, and if I've got some issues and it has to go to Galveston and come back to Jamaica Beach, that slows down response time. So that if we could maybe come up with a way during the high season, specifically hurricane season, come up with a way to have a dispatch locally that would help with our response time to known and unknown hazards. So I just wanted to throw out whether it was something council had thought of and rejected, or maybe it's something according to something in the Texas State House bill. There's something that says hot taxes can be used for safety and security. So I was thinking this would be an excellent way to spend hot taxes that supports our community at large, as well as tourism, because the tourist isn't going to call Galveston if there's an emergency. They're going to call Jamaica Beach and then get shuttled to Galveston, and there's going to be confusion involved in that. So I was just concerned about hazard mitigation and how the city was going to respond to that. And I know that's not specifically addressed in our plan. Our plan is more checkpoints with the state. But this came to mind as a way that we could possibly secure the safety of our community, both on the water and on the beach and in the neighborhood, by having a on-site response dispatch during the high season, specifically hurricane season. You could probably throw in spring break with a high need for hazard response at that time.
Yes, ma'am. There's some great ideas. I've made note of it. I've noticed a couple other aldermen have done that. And we will be getting back with you on that.
I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Any other? Okay. Reports. Director's report. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. As you know, last meeting y'all approved to replace and buy some new park equipment for the city park. They're gonna be delivering that on July the 5th and starting their installation. We're gonna.
And
Ma'am? Anyway, they're gonna tear down the old, they're bringing their own dumpster. They said it would take 3 to 5 days to install it. So hopefully that'll be all in the middle of July, you'll have new park equipment. As you know, we've had some few issues with, the city pool. We've had some issues with the company that we had contracted with on the maintaining the chemicals and different things. Needless to say, they're no longer employed. We've hired a new company. They've got the pool up, all the chemicals are in balance. We actually had our health inspection last week. It passed, so just wanted to give you an update on the pool. That's the reason why it was closed during some of the days. Okay, the levels were off. If you notice, I had both flagpoles out front repaired. They've got new flags, new balls, so it's all working, it's all good. It's budget season, it's budget time, so, look for some budget workshops in the near future. That way we can start working on the budget for next year, so, that's all my report.
Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you, ma'am. Chief, anything?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Just a couple of things I want to give today. I promised a report from the Memorial Weekend. In the month of May, there were 224 citations issued. On Memorial Weekend, there were 103 of those 224. Speeding is 19 citations, registration and golf cart violations, there were 17. Beach parking violations were 17. Glass on the beach were 17. Minor in possession or consumption of alcohol, there were 8. There were 8 violations of city parking. There were 4 violations issued for fail to yield. There were 4 marina parking violations issued. There were 4 citations issued for reckless or unsafe driving. There were 3 citations issued for driving on the dunes. There was 1 citation issued on dog at large or leash law, and there was 1 Class C driving while license suspended violation that was issued for the Memorial Weekend. And just one comment about our dispatch service. I know this stuff can kind of be confusing, but we are on the Galveston PD CAD. We contracted Galveston PD to dispatch for us. We have our own dedicated number. The 409-737-1800 number is our direct dispatch number. Yes, it's answered at Galveston PD, and yes, they do dispatch for us, but there is no time lapse in dispatching. One reason why we need to stay on the Galveston CAD is for specific issues where we have disasters, anything else, because the Galveston PD officers actually sees what's going on in Jamaica Beach. We see what's going on in Galveston, so it's seamless, and we can add added protection, because if we see an issue that Galveston is working on close to us, then we can alert our citizens and such to that situation that's going on. And so it basically breaks down all communication walls between us and the agencies that will be assisting us in giving us aid, and we give them aid as well. Also, we would know what the other emergency agencies are doing, such as fire and EMS. We can all see that on our CAD, and so it's all seamless there. So it's not, there is no downtime in going straight through our dispatch. Yes, the personnel is from Galveston, but they've done an excellent job as far as dispatching us in a timely fashion. So I really don't see any issues there.
That's it. Excuse me, Chief, to be
Yes,
clear, that's not just after hours or weekends, that's 24/7.
24/7, yes,
Okay.
yes, absolutely. That's the number we want our citizens to call during business hours. We don't really, the lapse in time is if you try to call the administrative number to the police department and not go through dispatch during the week. So we really want to encourage all citizens to use that dispatch number. And then there's an electronic record of everything that happens as well when we have that.
And what's the difference in if they were calling 911?
It's the same thing.
Okay.
They call 911 here, the Galveston dispatcher sees that it's a 911 call placed in Jamaica Beach. So anytime you call 911, basically there's a bubble of about 50 feet. I know that sounds weird, but it is. So they can actually pinpoint 50 from where the call originated, about 50 feet radius of where that phone was going.
So it's identical calling either?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Anything else?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Consent agenda is number 8. That should be pretty easy. We have one item, approval of minutes.
Did you skip 7?
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right, thank you. I did skip 7. We have any comments? Ms. Jones, you wanna start?
Sure, thank you, Mayor. I attended the West Galveston Island Properties Owners Association Hurricane meeting, last Saturday, and took video, put it on YouTube and Facebook, and sent a link to Jerry Mull, the chairman of Wiggy Poa. Before and after the meeting, I shared Stars for Troops, and met Constable Jimmy Fullen, who was very touched with the idea. And he wanted more stars, and I gave him another 150 stars, and he's gonna be taking them to the Border Patrol and sharing them with the officers. There were many first responders, and I gave as many stars as I could to everyone I found. Plus I found one Korean War vet and several Vietnam vets. It's always an honor to give a token of appreciation from the city of Jamaica Beach to police officers, first responders, and veterans. One of our citizens went to her grandson's graduation last week from the Navy Nuclear Submarine School in South Carolina, and she shared over 100 stars with his graduating class and with the commanders and officers there. Our little village is touching the hearts of thousands of people across the nation and further. I can now report that we've shared over 3,500 stars. A big thank you to all my star makers for all their hard work in packaging and sharing the stars. I also attended the JBIC meeting and took video of their meeting and put it on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Yes, Mayor, I have a report, I also have some comments. On the Esplanade, Don Towner is getting bids to replace the palm trees and rework the flower beds. I should have something on this next week. And comments. Our next regularly scheduled workshop meeting looks like falls on July the 4th.
Correct. And we're gonna be rescheduling that.
Yeah, when are you gonna reschedule?
We haven't decided yet. We'll let you
I
know.
would like to suggest that we either do it this coming week on the 27th or July the 5th. The reason I say that is that we have a lot of business to discuss. Next year's budget is coming faster than we think. The second quarter budget report would be just a great way to start working on this. The beach user fee plan. I was prepared to present this to council when we're gonna have the last meeting. But I am prepared to do that now. I request this be on this agenda. Standard operating procedures. Muni code. This is the codification of our city ordinances. Codification by law is simply the restatement of our ordinances and updating them per our jurisdiction, because it is the jurisdiction of the city of Jamaica Beach. I can't press on council enough, we've got a lot of business to do. And one other thing, while we're talking about the beach, on the 15th of this month, I talked with Culver Ray. Carter is the project manager for CIPRA stands for Coastal Erosion Planning and Response Act, okay? Let me get my glasses on here, guys. What came of that was that he verified that the Corps of Engineers have issued a permit to GLO required, okay, for CIPRA to start the beach replenishment or renourishment of our beach. They have the permit, okay? He told me GLO is now setting priorities, because they've got a lot of other beach nourishment in the book. They're now setting priorities and reviewing the city permit that was filed by Anna Mondragon in order to approve the work order for engineering. Carver expects approval of our application so we can start engineering sometime in this September. Once engineering is released, then we're looking at, say, 11 months duration to complete the total project, and that will be sometime next October. I just thought I'd share that with you because I think it's something that we're all waiting on, and it's good news.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'd like to start off by welcoming Mr. Welch back. I've worked with him before. He's going to be a huge asset to council. I'm very excited. I also attended the hurricane meeting. I did not videotape it, but I will sum it up for you. They basically told you to pack up, be prepared, and get out. Bottom line. All right, one thing that did catch my attention is they do not have as much staffing, equipment, or vehicles as in previous years. For example, police vehicles and fire trucks are 2 years back ordered. So if we do have a disaster, it's gonna be harder for first responders with less equipment. Serious stuff, everybody please take it to note. Be prepared, make a plan, and leave. Get somewhere safe. I wanted to mention that the upcoming JBIC meeting is canceled for the end of this month. Their next one will be in July. And that's all I have today, Mayor.
Thank you.
No report, thank you.
Okay, thank you guys. Now we're to number 8, consent agenda. Approval of minutes from the regular city council meeting, May 23rd, 2022. See attachment A. Do I have a motion?
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to discuss.
That will come after the motion.
Okay.
We have a motion to discuss.
I'll make that motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I thought you were wanting. Yes, ma'am. What would you like to discuss?
Well, there is just one, I don't quite understand. There was on the vote for, new business, for electing a mayor pro tem. There, it says that the motion passed unanimously, but there was one no. So would that still mean unanimously?
It's still a 3-1.
3-1.
It just motion passed. I can omit that if you wanted to.
Well, it just becomes
That's fine.
confusing. And that's all.
I'm sorry, for clarification, who was the no?
I was the no.
No.
Other than that, are we ready to vote on it? Let's vote. Are all in favor?
Aye.
Mayor's report. Y'all pretty much took it all out of me. Let's see, Gil, some of your stuff that you were talking about, Unicode, we've been working on that. That's been a long time coming. We are banging on the doors of those people.
I'd like
Hang
to
on,
talk about that in the workshop.
Yeah,
I'd like to know who,
Sir,
Munica has
What
been
the
bought
deal
out
is,
by,
yeah.
City Plus, by the way.
and we're working on that, yeah.
Thank
Yeah, but we do want to discuss it more. Engineering approvals, gonna be part of the mitigation plan is what we're about to be, voting on here, in new business. And, as far as budget, we got the workshops coming, that's gonna be, a tall task. I did wanna make a statement that about the hurricane meeting. Russell said it in a nutshell, get out. You know, it's gonna be, we could be having some serious, incidences going on. There's just, with everything going on, in today's world, it could be catastrophic. Other than that, I do wanna read something real quick, I've heard a few people complain, only a few. There are several ways to get and make your ideas heard here in the city. It doesn't have to be at that podium right there. You can contact any alderman, any of the city directors, or I. We'd love to meet with you, listen to you, and discuss that. At that point, we'll make sure it hadn't been proposed in the past. We'll give you an update on any of that. And if it's something that everyone will agree, we would get that put on the agenda, where it would be discussed amongst council. Then we get citizens' input and feedback. And at that point, ideas are written into ordinances and or budget for implementation. And please remember, most of our improvements in our city have started with citizens and their ideas. And we as your elected officials look forward to always hearing from them at any time. But that's to address that. Other than that, that's all I have on my report. Next item, number 10, is new business. First item is discussion and consider and possibly take action to approve resolution number 2022-05, authorizing the approval of a contract for collection services for the collection of delinquent property taxes with Lineberger, Cogan, Blair, and Sampson LLP. It's in attachment B. And basically what we're doing, all these new businesses, a lot of house cleaning, but I would like to have a motion.
I'll make a motion to discuss, Mayor.
A second?
I second it.
Okay.
Which one? Okay, yeah.
You did.
Discussion, I know we have them here. Does anybody have any questions I'd like to direct at Lineberger about this particular?
I don't. Historically, they've done a good job, right?
Yeah, it's fairly new for us, having them. It's much more functional having them do it. And Mark, if you would like to step up and please let us know.
Absolutely. Mayor, council members, Mr. Nesbitt, my name is Mark Chevalier. I'm the managing partner of Linebarger, Gardner, Blair, and Sampson's Galveston County office, and I manage your delinquent property tax collections. Historically, the city of Jamaica Beach has contracted with the Galveston County Tax Office to collect its property taxes. And part of that service that's through an interlocal agreement was that the city would use the county's delinquent tax attorney, and that has historically been our firm. What we bring to you today is a separate standalone contract for that service. What it means for you on a day-to-day basis is there is no change. What it means for you as a business practice, however, most of our clients have found it prudent to have a separate contract between the city and our firm. It keeps the contract in front of you as it expires every couple of years. Just as a prudent business practice, we've found that our clients, and most often we've heard from our clients' auditors that they suggest that a council contract directly with the law firm, just as a matter to keep the contract in front of them, basically to help monitor performance. Our firm has been representing the city of Jamaica Beach since July 2004. So, and we have, as a matter of fact, I ran some numbers today that, if I may, we have a cumulative collection rate for the past 16 years of 99.91%. My clients throughout the county and probably throughout the state would love to have those collection numbers. So we've done an outstanding job at the risk of sounding immodest, but we have done a really good job on behalf of the city. We want to continue this relationship with the city, and as a matter of this contract, the contract is for a 3-year term. You will note the language in there, however, you can give us 30 days notice and cancel the contract. If you, for good cause, bad cause, no cause. So that is what gets me up in the morning and makes me go to the office charging in to, with great vim and vigor, to collect the property taxes. So despite the 3-year term, you always have an out. You're not wed to us for any extended term. I wanted to make myself available to answer any questions that you might have, and also really frankly to convey to you sincere thanks for the opportunity to represent you. We represent, our firm represents, just in Galveston County, the county, and 40 other entities. We represent all the cities, 4 school districts, 2 junior colleges, and a number of small MUDs and PIDs and small taxing districts. But we very much relish and value the opportunity, and we appreciate the opportunity we've had with the city of Jamaica Beach, and would like to continue that accordingly. So with that, I would answer any questions you might have.
Anyone?
This is a new contract.
It's not really new, we've had it with them since.
The
2004.
relationship.
That's what I understood.
Yes, sir. It is a new contract, so to speak. The relationship has gone since July 2004. So previously, it had been through the interlocal agreement with the Galveston County Tax Office.
So you were functioning directly with them, and now you'll be directly functioning with us.
That's correct, yes, sir.
Thank you.
I guess that's it, thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you for the
Mark.
opportunity.
I'm gonna have you guys on board.
Yeah, thank you. Ready to vote, all in favor?
I vote in favor.
Item number 2 is discussion, consider and possibly take action to approve ordinance number 2022-07, amending ordinance number 2013-4, adopting amended provisions for the appointment of a judge, alternate judge, and court clerk of the municipal court of the city of Jamaica Beach, and providing for the term of office and compensation of each, and that's attachment C. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion to discuss, Mayor.
Second? Second. Alderman Welch.
Find attachment C.
It's,
The header on the page says City of Jamaica Beach and an ordinance number.
any discussion? We ready to vote?
Mayor,
Yes.
can you explain maybe why there's a need for this?
I can let, Debbie also answer, and Chief, but there's, house cleaning with the, where it said city administrator, that was one area. We now have, coordinators. And if you look at number 3, it's been changed by the director of finance. and authorized by the city's annual budget.
And had city administrator there.
Yeah. Debbie, I believe you mentioned this hasn't been updated since '70.
It was 77, and then this one is since 2013. So the original one was 77, and then y'all updated it in 2013. So now this really, because we don't have a city administrator.
So we're just still
There's
with it.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, go ahead.
There's another change in number one. I have the 2013-4 right here.
Mayor, this too.
And, the old one says appointment by the city council. That would be removed, and it would be appointment by the mayor with approval of the city council.
Correct.
And then on number 5, that the judge may be removed from office by city council is the old. And then the new one would be that the judge would be removed from office by the mayor.
Correct.
And so is everybody aware of those changes? Okay. And
Do
then
you know who our current, judge is right now?
No, I've not met him.
Okay, that's one of, we're making some of those changes, is we're trying to, I work with the court system, the mayor, all mayors that work with the judges. And because city council is not,
It's not an elected job.
yeah, it's not elected town,
Yeah,
thank you, thank you.
yeah. He doesn't have to go really between council, it could be like I would be, or Brad or somebody.
That's a good explanation. It falls underneath the category of staff.
Right,
Correct, thank you. That's a simple way to put it.
yeah.
All in favor?
No,
No, sorry.
I have some questions.
Oh, absolutely.
So, item 5, would it be possible to have that removed by office by the mayor with approval from council rather than just the mayor?
Which one?
Number 5,
Item
for the
5.
judge. Item 5.
I think we could have some language that the mayor could suspend the judge, but removing him is the purview of council. I think.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's,
Sounds reasonable.
I mean, is he gonna come in and have an executive session to terminate the judge? With all of y'all to vote to do that, or is it?
Well, I would think we would need a quorum to, here's the thing, right? And say Clay's not the mayor anymore, and it's someone with a disposition of a rattlesnake, and he had a bad day, and the judge gets fired, and our court system clogs down, right? We want a check and balance on that. I mean, that's how government is supposed to work. You have executive and legislative, and they're supposed to keep each other in check. So that's where I'm coming
And to,
Go ahead.
and to also make that change that you suggested for section 2 for the clerk, to include that language to, have oversight by the city council.
Well, but it's a staff meeting, remember?
But
It's not hard, y'all don't hire the court clerk,
Yeah,
y'all have nothing to do, it's just like,
Well, that's why in the old ordinance, it states here that the clerk may be removed from office by the city council at any time for incompetency, misconduct, or malfeasance. Where the new writing is the clerk may be removed from office by the mayor and director of finance at any time for incompetency, misconduct, or malfeasance.
it takes both of us.
yeah, it takes both.
She reports to me,
Okay.
she's under my supervision,
Okay,
so I can't just terminate her without approval, or vice versa.
I see.
If I see something needs to be addressed, or if it's something that needs to be terminated, I would go to that too.
The mayor and then both of you would make that
Correct.
decision. Okay. Thank you.
How would we amend that?
are you wanting to amend for the judge on 5?
Yeah.
It's gonna take mayor and council to terminate the
The
judge?
same thing, I guess, was with the hiring.
Well, it says up there in the original one that it doesn't have to come back to any type of ordinance or anything like that.
Right.
Okay? And I think he's on a certain contract, so do y'all wanna renew his contract every year, do y'all wanna
Yeah,
make
that's,
it?
you'll see that our ordinance for judges, we're supposed to have a contract every 2 years.
Mhm.
And, that has not been updated in a long time. So we're trying to get this I's dotted and T's crossed and get all this worked out.
And then this one we
So
actually,
you're moving it to 4 years.
yes, this one we actually made it a
Yeah.
little longer.
So are we good with that to just add in council?
On
Or-
5.
or On 5, yes.
Section 1.
Kinda like you
Section
just,
one.
with, terminated by the mayor with council's approval, is that what you're, how you want to do it?
Correct, that'd be good. All.
I had to change that in.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
That's fine, I can change it.
Okay.
You're gonna make the motion to approve it with the stipulation of the
Yes.
change in, section 1.5.
Make the motion to approve with the stipulation of section 1 with the judge, number 5, to include city council, approvals of the city council. All in favor? Next item, new business, number 10, discussion, consider, and possibly take action to approve resolution number 2022-06, authorizing the adoption of the Galveston County multi-jurisdictional hazard mitigation plan for the year 2022. May I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Who seconded that? Okay. And don't really close yet.
Okay,
Okay.
we ready to vote? All in favor? Overwhelmingly passes. Next item is we will be going into executive session. And, yes, I guess I should be, shouldn't I? It is anticipated that all or a portion of this discussion of the following items, if any, will be conducted in closed executive session under authority of the Texas Open Meetings Act. However, no action will be taken on these items until the city council reconvenes in open session. And item for discussion is for the purpose of deliberating the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer, the personal manners of the Director of Operations and Municipal Court Judge. So we will go into that and we'll